but the women are no different. Really, really. In fact, what I can say to you is some of the women I meet, they're top of their game. They're professionals, they're doctors, they're lawyers, they're businesswomen.
But at the end of the day, they haven't lost their femininity.
They haven't lost the fact that they can instill values in their kids. They haven't lost the fact that they can make homes for their husbands. And they have so much respect for their elders. So you really are very lucky to have somebody like Didi in your life. And Raj would be lucky to have her as a wife.
She made noodles.
Auntie, she made them. They're his favorite. At least she cooked. You know, she's able to do it all.
I guess so.
So, you know, it's all the same. We're all one. Hum sab ek hai.
Ah, true. We are one.
Raj's mother refuses to let this black woman Indian man romance prosper, and so Raj's cousin Leela decides to come to the rescue. Leela comes to visit Raj's mother and try and get to the bottom of her opposition to the relationship. I'd play you the clip, but you remember what YouTube told me. In the scene, Raj's cousin Leela has come to talk to his mother to convince her that Nigerian women are good women. And Didi is a good girl who will make a good wife for Raj. There's a lot to unpack in their conversation, but I want us to start with housework. The idea that a good woman is the one who hasn't lost her femininity. She may be a high-powered lawyer, a doctor, a CEO, all the fun stuff, but she still cooks for her man and does the feminine things. Earning big money hasn't led to her developing a psychological penis and accompanying penile behavior. This idea of women's value and perceived character being based on housework, unpaid housework, is sexist, barbaric, and dangerous. They compete to cook and clean for Raj, and the film makes it look like a humorous thing. There's nothing humorous about the fact that women all over the world are burdened with doing unpaid work in the home. It disproportionately falls on them, whether or not they have a partner. And in fact, heterosexual women with a male partner do more housework than their single and homosexual counterparts. Women undertake a whole range of unpaid labor, including housework and things like working in the farm in rural areas. By far the largest source of women's unpaid labor is domestic work, aka housework. Domestic work refers to all the work required to maintain a household. It includes cooking, cleaning, grocery shopping, and taking care of children, the sick, and the elderly. It may include collecting firewood and water. This endless labor is not just physical, it's emotional and mental as well. It has negative effects on women's physical health, mental health, and overall well-being. So it's not a joke. A 2019 study found that women consistently do more domestic work than men. In fact, married women with children do more housework than single mothers. Married women sleep less and have less leisure time than single mothers as well. You have to ask yourself, why? Is it that having an extra adult in the house increases the amount of work to be done? Nope. It turns out that when women live with adult relatives of the female persuasion, they end up doing less housework. Is it because the men are working outside the home and the women are stay-at-home moms? Regardless of whether or not they're employed outside the home, women tend to do more of the feminine-coded housework, including laundry, cleaning, meal preparation, and taking care of the children. And men continue to do their thing too. Yard work, vehicle care, chasing the occasional spiders and rodents. Yay! It actually gets worse for married women working outside the home. Studies show that in heterosexual households where the woman is the main breadwinner, the more she earns, the less her partner will contribute to the housework. I don't know what math that is, but there you have it. That is what all the successful female African doctors, lawyers, and businesswomen have to contend with. Yay, progress. So it's not the presence of an extra adult, and it's not the fact that women are working in the home and men outside the home that's caused the burden of housework to be borne by women. So what is it then? All we're left with is patriarchy is trash, gender roles are sexist nonsense, and men, well, they're trash. It's obviously a male problem because a long time ago, the Council of Patriarchy sat down and decided that women are more naturally suited to certain jobs. Those jobs being cooking daily, cleaning endlessly, caring for children, and doing everything required to keep the home running day to day. It's long been ingrained in women that the home is a reflection and extension of them. A good woman is one who does all the necessary things on the home front. One of the reasons floated for why married women do more housework than single women is the pressure to perform what society considers appropriate behavior for good wives and mothers. Somehow, when you're paired up with a man, there's a heightened expectation to perform gender even more, and men are reaping all the benefits while contributing jack shit in the way of domestic labor. In fact, research shows that when it appears that the gap between domestic labor is being closed, it's usually because women abandon some chores completely, not because men are picking up the slack. So, on the one hand, you have Didi competing with Raj's mother to prove that she's a good feminine woman who can take care of her son by engaging in unpaid housework in the form of cooking. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, in their massive mansion, her own mother has a domestic worker, a servant to do a significant chunk of that labor for her. Even when women are successful and manage to get themselves out of the endless cycle of work that is domestic labor, it is almost always another woman who takes her place and for meager pay. Domestic workers are paid poverty wages because housework, aka women's work, is devalued and not even viewed as real exacting work. I mean, if children can be compelled to do it, how hard can it really be? This is a reflection of all the ways society devalues women and everything that is even remotely considered feminine. This is why men don't do domestic work. It's women's work and therefore beneath them. They are more suited to important manly work like yard work and taking the car to the garage. Until we begin to value women and women's contribution, housework will not be valued, and women will continue to bear that burden largely alone. We forget that it is domestic labor that makes all other labor outside the home possible. It is crucial for our health and overall well being. It is crucial for the survival of society and the economy. The fact that things are running in the home is what makes it possible for people to go out and get other things out there running as well. Part of what really pissed me off about that whole competing to cook for Raj scene is the fact that earlier his mother had asked him who took care of him. And he said he takes care of himself and cooks for himself.
Eat properly. Who takes care of you when I'm not here? Huh? Who cooks for you?
I cook, Ma.
Really?
I do.
Why do I find that so hard to believe?
There was something really wonderful about that interaction, about Raj saying, I don't need somebody to cook for me, to perform this labor. I do it myself. I sustain myself. I don't know why this film actively chose to water that down.